What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you're on a fantastic day today. Today I have a very exciting unboxing video for you all. I really hope each and every one of you are excited for today's video. And without any further delay, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. Today we're going to be taking a look at the JC Wings 1:200 scale Korean Air Boeing 747-8. I really hope all of you are excited for this. What an awesome deal I was able to get on this aircraft, a very special one at that. And we're going to break it all down for each and every one of you today. So let's go ahead and get started. So this particular model comes from Massive Unboxing number 46, which was the DFW Airline Collectible Haul from 2024. What an awesome show that was. Definitely check out the Massive Unboxing for more information. But the information we do need to talk about in this unboxing is that there was this guy there that was selling models at a very steep discounted rate due to trying to get money for his girlfriend, essentially. And what happened there was he had some awesome deals on some 1-400, some as cheap as $16, others $25, which is just insane by itself. But he had a couple 1-200s, and this one immediately caught my eye as soon as I passed his table. So I heard that he was selling really good prices on these models, and I asked how much this was, and he said $85. So I ended up making him a combo offer with some other 1-400s, and he took it. So this was $85, which I think is insane. I couldn't even find any die-cast Korean 748s on eBay in 1-200. I only found the Hogan, which sold for $99. So the fact that we got the die-cast for less than that just speaks to how good of a deal this was. And I just can't say enough about airline collectible shows, man. The deals that you can get at these shows are incredible. You all saw it with the LATAM and the Polar 747-8. Now you're seeing it here today with this Korean Air Boeing 747-8. So I'm really excited for this. We're not going to waste any further time. Let's just go ahead and get started. And I'll talk a little bit more about all the details at the end with regards to how happy I am about the deal and all that. But you're here for the unboxing. So just want to give the brief context so you understand why I have this aircraft, which, speaking of which, that's a good time to talk about this. This one ends up working out really well anyway, because I've always wanted some sort of international heavy that I've seen before. You know, I have seen the British Airways A380. That was a contributing factor to that one, in the American wide bodies, but not like a, you know, really defined international one that's a little out there. And I've always said with these collectible shows, you take what you get, and you don't throw a fit, and you get really good deals. This one especially, because I've seen this land several times, and probably even somewhere else at some point. And just get it for $85, super cool. So JC Wings 1-200 boxes is my first JC Wings heavy, excuse me, in 200, and I think my first one ever. So they typically have these orange boxes, which is really cool. This one's very simple, as it just has a sticker for the aircraft specifications, rather information. So you see that here with the 1-200 sticker, Korean Air, Boeing 747-8, Hotel Lima 7631. The box is huge, as you can see. It's definitely a hefty box. So overall, it looks really good. Let's just not waste any further time. The light's kind of trying to fade on me a little bit, and I want to get at least some good light on it for all of you. And there was good light on it in the massive unboxing I did, number 46. So check that one out too. But today we're going into a more in-depth analysis, because in that video we did more of a skim due to how the setup of it was. But here it is, so you can see the styrofoam and how big it is, but I mean, it's just ginormous. So it's nicely placed in here, and I'll just go ahead and lift it out. And it doesn't get old any single time. I mean, just take a look at how gorgeous this is. So there it is, and I need to go ahead and get the stand as well. It did not come with the stand, which is perfectly fine, so I ended up stealing this from my LATAM 789. And the $5 stand that I got at Airlines International 2022 in Chicago for $5, I decided to put that on the LATAM because it was one of those flex stands, and it kind of bent up. So it wasn't quite as good for a 747 like this Korean Air example. But the LATAM stand fit better here, so that's why we were able to integrate that here. And ignore the laundry, I'm sorry, the room's a complete mess right now. That's what the end of the college semester has got us feeling like right now. But nevertheless, we're not gonna waste any further time. Take a look at this gorgeous Korean Air Boeing 747-8. It is an absolute talent show from top to bottom. From the nose to the back, it is just a gorgeous airplane. As you can see, it has some awesome characteristics to it, and overall it looks really good. Try to get some of that light in there so we can see it. It is a really nice blue, and overall it just looks really good in the sun. Decided to come out at the perfect time, bring it back a little bit more so you all can get that really nice view of it right there. That is stunning. Just look at that, man. So overall, a gorgeous looking aircraft. We won't even waste any further time. I'll just let the sun blast on just a little bit longer so you all can get that vibe, and hopefully you all were able to secure that, because we cannot continue to waste any further time, as I'm sure all of you want to see this model. So let's just go ahead and get started, guys. Zooming in. Oh man, it is so nice every time. Okay, let me go ahead and back it up so that's fully in the light. And now we can take a look. So first and foremost, it's ginormous. So here's my index finger for reference. These Boeing 747s are huge. This is now my second one, as I got the Polar earlier this year, and now you see I have this Korean Air. It is the first Dash 8, of course. So it looks really great. Let's just go ahead and get started. So here's the cockpit windows, then you have the windshield wipers as well. Then you have the nose cone, which looks really good here in this 1/200 mold, very precise to the real Boeing 747-8. So that's one of the coolest characteristics of it, hands down. And then you get the radar dome here at the nose cone. You can see that outline. And then you got all these passenger windows here in the front. Followed by that, you also have the latch for the cockpit, and then the SkyTeam logo, which is interestingly placed up here by the cockpit windows on the 747-8s for Korean, which is pretty cool. And again, pitot tubes, and you got some various panels, and you got CH, and then some sort of writing, presumably in Korean, so that looks really good. And then we have the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door, which are very detailed. So the nose landing gear has, the door has 631 for the registration prefix, the last 3 of the registration. Nose landing gear also looks really good. You can see the various details, even I think has a light on it, if I'm looking at that correctly, which is really cool on both sides. It's a really great feature. And then you can see the landing gear does turn left to right and right to left. So that's another awesome characteristic, and overall, it looks really good. Here's the L1 door. You can see the various details. So we got a nice lever, and then we got the window and the emergency hatch and all the various details one would want to see on this aircraft. So overall, that all looks really good. And you got the rest of the passenger windows here too, which all look really good, and they did a great job on all those details. So thoroughly impressed with the effort right there, no doubt about it. Then, sorry about the focus, you can see we have the talk deck right here, which is very similar in detail. We also got the beacon right there and antenna. So that all looks really good, and definitely glad to see all that. So that's really cool to see right there. You have this second door, which I'm not sure how they designate it for double deckers. I should know better, but nevertheless, it's the upper door here on the 747-8, and you can see how big that door is, of course, to accommodate for the slope of the aircraft, which now is probably a good time to show that off since we're here already. So you can just see how much the slope affects the door there. So you can see why it's so big for that reason. So really great detail on that. Not quite as much, but obviously in real life, it doesn't quite have as much detail as the L1. So that all looks really good. Now we have the Korean Air billboard titles, which look really nice as well. So you can see the various details that presents, and overall it looks really good. Always been the Pepsi livery for me, so really cool, and I'm sure many of you can relate to that as well. So that's really cool to see. And then you can see all these various windows. Now it is cool to note how stretched out the 747-8 is compared to the other variants. So you can see how many windows. You can get the full Korean Air billboard titles almost in there before it runs out of windows. So that's really cool. I think Jeb Brooks did a video on this aircraft, could be wrong, but I think he made Flew Business or a equivalent product on it, and it was really cool, if I'm remembering correctly. So that's cool to note. You have some various panels down here, which are really cool. So a couple right there, and then these two. So all that looks really good. And then that pretty much takes you on to this antenna, and trying to make sure I didn't miss any other details. You also have this line before you get to the L2 door, which looks really good. You have the same details as before, and overall it all looks really good. Also worth noting the billboard titles, the color is really good, and the font is also very cool as well. So definitely awesome to get to note all that. That then takes us onto the leading edge of the wing. On the mold, it's a little bit loose. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, of course. Not going to complain at all for the price that I got it at. However, it is worth noting that there is a decent little gap right there, but these 1/200s are so large that it's kind of tough to avoid that. So I can forget and forgive. You have the 2 leading edge lights right here that look really nice. So that's certainly really cool to see. And you also have 2 windows back here as well. I'm not exactly sure what they're for, whether it's a lavatory or equivalent, but they still look really good nevertheless right there. We need to lower the camera just a touch because we need to take a look now at these engines. So these are absolutely beautiful engines. I don't know, oh, here it is. I also forgot to mention, I forgot to put this back in the box, I apologize. But it does come with a aircraft information card, which is super cool. So you can see Korean Air, CGI, Boeing 747-8, Hotel Lima, 7631 is the registration. And in the back has specifications, but I was thinking about the engines because I was wondering what they were, and they're the GENX 2B67s, and there's all the other specifications too. So I was gonna put it right here on the stand, which I'll do in just a moment. But you can see these beautiful engines. Once again, they look really good. The exhaust looks really good, and the pylon, and of course the warnings, which they did a really good job detailing all that, and even the Korean Air logos right there. Then you can see the actual fan blades themselves. They're very detailed, and overall they did a really good job on detail. Also note the leading edge light detail there as well, as I was talking about. And you can see the wing root a little bit better too. So there is some flex in the wing, which is normal, so that's great to see. They did a great job detailing that. Here's a back view of those engines and the exhaust and the really cool 747-8 shape. And in the wings, you can see the slats, flaps, and speed brakes. Overall, really good job detailing all that, and it all looks really nice. I wish the indentations were a little bit more present, but hey, it's not a problem at all. Just an observation more than any negative remark. Then you have the landing gear, the main landing gear, really nice. I forgot to deattach these when I took it out of the box. I apologize, but of course they're just magnetic and they come in and out. So overall they look really good though. So I'll just throw that one back in there if I can find its slot. But yeah, they all have their individual placement. Overall, all looks really good. If I can somehow get this back in, they're kind of tough when you can't see it, but there we go. So you can see those main landing gear, and here's a little bit more of a perspective for all of you, and I'll get that top down here going soon. Sorry about the lies, guys. I thought I had just a little bit more time than what I anticipated, but luckily the iPhone's doing a great job picking up for it. It still looks really good. So you get the L3 and the L4 doors. Those look really nice as well. Again, very appropriate lever detail and arrows and all the rest of it, so that's all really good. You have those middle windows, which I think is where about economy starts, if not premium economy for sure. So that looks really nice. You got a bottom antenna there, which is red and white, so that's a cool characteristic. In some sort of stubby box, whether it's Wi-Fi, SATCOM, or what exactly it is, not sure, but it looks really good. Then you have the next antenna, which is also quite wonderful, so that looks really nice. The rest of the economy section there with all those etched windows, keep in mind it's even more stretched than the front of the aircraft, so this is definitely one of the most notable places on the 747-8. So that's cool to note. Speaking of which, there's the billboard titles for it, which is awesome. One of the coolest characteristics, hands down, I noticed this immediately when I took it out to inspect it, was the vents. I mean, you don't get that every day on any diecast models, so getting that here was quite fantastic and definitely one of the most desirable and overall stunning characteristics that this aircraft has in my eyes. So I was certainly super pleased to see the vents, and I'll give you a better view when I hold it up for you all here in a moment. The L5 door looks really good too. And then last but certainly not least, of course, we have the beautiful Korean tail. So Pepsi all the way. You have the Korean flag there on the top. In the bottom left, you see Hotel Lima 7631. And then if you have the horizontal stabilizers, APU, rudder integration, and all the various details there. So overall, all that looks really nice. And as the sun comes back for just a little bit, which is awesome. So definitely want to give you all a nice look at all this so that you can see what we're talking about. So thank you, Sun, for making a nice detour here to join us back up. But overall, it looks really nice. APU has some amazing detail, as you can see right there. It's super nice, and all that looks really good. And I'll give you some more views of that. Since we now have the light, I can give you a top down all that. So again, here's the aircraft one more time. So here's the side, and you can see how big it is relative to my hands. Here's the top of the aircraft. It looks really nice. You can see the various wing details, the antennas, the beacons. It's all really good. A little bit of residue on the wings. The only part that you can see on camera really well is here. Just came from the factory like that, but it's not very noticeable, so that's great news. Hotel Lima 7631 on the wing right there, and then the horizontal stabilizers tell it's really nice. Let's flip her over to the bottom because we haven't got a good chance to look at this yet, so you can see it's even worth just zooming in at this point. You can see the nose landing gear and nose landing gear door. Really nice. Come on. There we go. And of course the gear pivots. Then you can see the various dots and whatnot, so that's all really good. And you got the air inlets. There's the 4 of them right there. They look really good, and the detail is quite phenomenal there, so that's really awesome to get to see right there. There's the focus that I'm looking for. Again, a little bit of residue, but not too bad, especially being on the underside. There's the stand hole and the other beacon, which is really cool. Really great detail down here. Again, the landing gear easily detached. They're magnetic, and there is a gear up configuration in the box, so that's awesome. Registration on the bottom right now for the bottom of the wing, and you see the underneath detail of the engines, which is really good. So overall, a really good job. It's also pretty sizable when it comes to weight, but it's not the heaviest aircraft that I've ever held, more than 200 for sure, so definitely worth noting, which is kind of nice, so you can pick it up like this pretty easily if needed. 2 more antennas down there that I was telling you about earlier, and then the cargo doors, which we didn't quite get to the other side, so I apologize, but there they are, and the baggage door. Both vents on both sides. It's super cool to see that. One of the best details of this aircraft, and then you got the back door right there too. All of it looks really good, and they did a great job there on the detail as well. And I'll give you a right profile of the aircraft so you can see all the details if you wanted to see them here on the right side, because they're really nice. So again, cargo door is really a big one, not too many other major differences that immediately stand out, but all of it looks really good, and they did a very good job on this aircraft. Let me point in one of those ways that you can really get some good light on it. There you go. I think right there is just about right. So yeah, really cool model. So glad to get to add this one into the collection today. I personally think JC Wings did a really good job. I was kind of surprised that wasn't a 747-8i, but that's not a problem. Now again, I've seen these at Atlanta at least a handful of times, at least twice, but probably 3 or 4 times, which is very cool. It's certainly probably the coolest aircraft that flies into Atlanta with regards to aircraft rarity for the region. I think Atlanta's the only city in North America these fly to. I think as of right now, they might fly somewhere else, but not very common. So really cool to get to capture this there and have that memory, and now have a model aircraft for a very good price to get to represent that here in the collection. So these airline collectible shows will continue to prove powerful. I really will only snag aircraft on eBay going forward if it's just an exceptionally good deal. There's been some, of course, like the Shapeways Gulfstream I got a while back, and some retro Tulsa aircraft that I'll continue to use eBay for on a regular basis. However, these airline collectible shows are fantastic for great deals, and if you're looking for any sort of model airplanes that are really flexible on what you want and just want a good price on them, in other words, great value return, these collectible shows are fantastic. So definitely tune in to Massive Unboxing number 46 if you have not already. Again, there's a bunch of really great information in there regarding the Dallas collectible show from this past year and how awesome it was, and looking very forward to the next one-day DFW show. That'll be taking place on April 26, 2025, so I hope to see you all there. There'll be additional collectible shows going on, including Chicago, which either is about to happen or is happening as of this video's upload. LAX June 1st, and a big long list for the fall as well. So definitely check out my videos, or just message me and I'll get you the list, or go to the FAR aviationfair.com website. That website has a great tab with all the conventions listed in one place, and there's also plenty in Europe as well. For any European viewers of mine, there's a bunch of shows in your area, so definitely check those out if you haven't got a chance to do so already. But again, this is a super cool aircraft. I can't recommend it enough. I'm so glad to have it here in the fleet, and really excited to continue to attend these one-day collectible shows and continue to get great deals on any sort of items that prevails. So I really hope you all enjoyed this. Thank you all so much for watching. Looking super forward, sorry about that, to the next one of these awesome snags, and I really hope each and every one of you are as well. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. My name is Redriveraviation. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Just the process. Do you love and love what you do? My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.